Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Papa Tab or Tarek, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at another one of Andrew's great takes on his YouTube channel. And so in this video, it's titled Tate on Why Real Men Don't Cry, episode 8. So like I said in my last few videos, he has episode 1, 2 is gone, 3 is gone, 4 is gone, 5 is gone. We have episode 6, and then 7's gone, 8 is here, so we're on 8 today. I know this should be number 3, but it's 8, so we'll go ahead and jump right into it.
I've had a lot of guys on Twitter say, real men cry, and if women can cry, men can cry too, there's nothing wrong with it. And there absolutely is something wrong with it, and I'll explain to you why.
Okay, so he saw something on Twitter. He says, I guess it said that real men can cry because boys and girls cry. He says there's a problem with it. Okay, let's keep going.
Life as a man is far more difficult than life as a woman.
Life as a man is far more difficult than life as a woman. Maybe it's just because I don't know. Maybe it's because I haven't had the same experiences as he had. I don't necessarily think it's a lot harder as a guy. I don't think so. Maybe in his head it is, but not really. I'm fine, dude. I'm chilling, making money. I'm living. I'm a father to a healthy daughter. Life ain't that bad.
And one of the key components of manhood always has been and always will be, we have the ability to control ourselves and not act emotionally.
Women can do that too, you know that, right? Women are also human beings. Women can also act not on emotion. We can do it. Sometimes us men act on emotion, but that's normal.
Females are more emotionally driven, more emotionally impulsive than a good man should be.
Now, I don't know if that's necessarily true. I'm not going to deny it, but maybe it is. I don't know.
Saying that I felt like crying, so I cried, this makes me a real man, is as stupid as me saying, well, I felt like smashing his face in, so I smashed his face in.
Hold on. Let me see. Sorry, not the fucking volume. Let me see this. I just had to hear that take again.
Crying, so I cried, this makes me than a good man should be. Saying that I felt like crying, so I cried, this makes me a real man.
Saying I felt like crying, so I cried, that makes me a real man.
Is as stupid as me saying, well, I felt like smashing his face in, so I smashed his face in. This makes me a real man.
I don't know where he's getting that first argument from. I felt like crying, so I cried. Well, okay, that's a normal human emotion, dude. That's a normal human emotion. If you feel like crying and you cry, who's gonna fucking care? It arguably takes a lot more character, manhood, to be able to be vulnerable, to allow people to see you in that such low state. You know what I mean? It's hard to just be okay and be calm and cry it out. It's okay. It's normal. I promise. It's fine. It takes something out of you, but sometimes you just have to let it go. You know what I mean?
No. The hallmark of a real man is controlling himself, controlling his emotions, and acting appropriately regardless of how he feels.
I don't think he was shown a lot of love as a baby from his father. Maybe from his mother. I don't know. This is obviously, I'm just throwing a guess out into the wind, but maybe his dad saw him cry once and he slapped him upside the head. He's like, real men don't cry. Real men don't.
And throughout human history, this is exactly how men had to live their lives. Do you think that the teenagers
Men had to live their lives by not crying? Okay.
Storming the beaches of Normandy felt like crying?
Yes, I think they felt like crying, dude. They probably weren't going to see their families again, dude. They probably knew they weren't going to see their families again. They were probably crying, but they're like, fuck it. I have to do this anyways for my family.
Of course they did. But they also knew that that wasn't the correct thing for them to do. They had a duty to commit to. They had honor, and they did what they were supposed to do regardless of how they felt. That is the mark of a man. Weakness and absolute submission to your feelings are not the hallmarks of men.
Okay, I don't know what he's trying to get at, but I'm thinking he's trying to say You know the soldiers who stormed the beach of Normandy? Yeah. They none of them actually broke down and cried and just sat there like a duck. None of them did that. You know that, right? Well, no shit, Sherlock. They probably had no other thing to do besides go out there and fucking fight for our country.
It's not the way society has ever been built. It's never been built off the backs of men who were crying their eyes out because they felt like crying.
There's nothing wrong with crying. There's nothing wrong. I'm sure plenty of men that you look up to have cried because they felt like crying.
The only kind of men who advocate crying are the kind of men who do not have enough self-control to prevent themselves from crying.
I'm an advocate for being okay to cry, so I guess I can't control my emotions that well. That's not really a good argument. That's not. I'm an advocate for letting people cry. Anyone who wants to cry can cry. I'm an advocate because I understand it's a normal human emotion. That's it. I'm not unable to control my feelings. I can hold myself back from anger or crying or whatever the fuck. I can breathe and let go. I'm able to do that. I can control myself. I'm not a fucking spastic, you know?
Because we're all human. There's times in your life, as a man, you're going to feel like crying.
Yes.
It's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But what you're supposed to do is not cry. Because...
Why? Okay. Mr. Emery. I don't know why. Have I been calling him Andrew? Emery. Emery. As a baby, you have cried. So, if you have cried as a baby, you are technically a bitch. You are not a real man. So, Emery, you came into this world crying. You cried like a little big baby. Okay? Now, you're not a real man because you have cried before.
This is a test in mental fortitude. And there is no physical fortitude, there's no financial fortitude, there's no other type of fortitude without mental fortitude. So when you feel like crying, you ensure you do not cry, and you act appropriately as a man should. The men who say no, succumb instantly to your emotions, are the kind of people who have no self-control. And let me tell you something about men who have no self-control.
No. Oh, I want to kind of go back and see what he said.
This is a test in... We're all human. There's times in your life, as a man, you're going to feel like crying. Mm-hmm. It's going to happen. But what you're supposed to do is not cry. Because this is a test in mental fortitude.
So, we want to feel like crying, but we're not supposed to cry because this is a test in mental fortitude.
And there's no physical fortitude, there's no financial fortitude.
There's no physical, financial.
There's no other type of fortitude without mental fortitude.
So he's saying, well, it's not that I don't disagree. It's not that I don't agree with what he's saying right here. At least, this is kind of what he does. He says something off on a tangent, then he says something kind of reasonable, and you're like, hold on, what the fuck's going on here? This is the reasonable part of his bullshit. I believe he's correct with what he's saying right now. You can't build anything else in life without getting your fucking head straight. First of all, I believe that's correct, yes.
So when you feel like crying, you ensure you do not cry, and you act appropriately as a man should.
So a man should not succumb to his feelings ever. Ever. Okay.
The men who say no, succumb instantly to your emotions, are the kind of people who have no self-control. And let me tell you something about men who have no self-control. Men who live without self-control are the kind of men who cry when their girlfriend cheats on them, because she certainly does, because she doesn't respect the little crybaby, and she's only with you because she's ugly as fuck and she has to settle for a little soy boy pussy like you.
So, okay, I don't really have much to say there. I'm not fucking crying if my wife goes cheats on me. I promise you I'm not crying. I don't care. I'm at a point in my life where I am confident in myself, where I don't care. I have someone else to put on a pedestal right now, and that's my daughter. I don't care. I am not a soy boy who's gonna fucking cry if I find that news out. I promise you.
And these guys sitting there, what they're trying to do by telling you to cry is drag you down to their level.
No. What we are saying when we're saying it's okay to cry is we're not even bringing you down. We're telling you that it's okay to be human. It's okay to feel feelings because these are healthy feelings. That's it.
They look at people like me and I say, Ross. And that's a big G. He's out there, he's fucking women, he's got his Lambo, he's a multi-millionaire, self-made, 6'4", 4-time kickboxing world champion, chess genius.
Is he talking about, he said Ross or Rust?
By telling you to cry is drag you down to their level. They look at people like me. And
look at people like me.
I say, Ross.
And I say Ross.
And that's a big G.
And that's a big G.
He's out there, he's fucking women, he's got his Lambo, he's a multi-millionaire, self-made, 6'4", 4-time kickboxing.
He tried to give himself an extra inch, you guys heard that? 6'5", 6'4".
He's fucking women, he's got his Lambo, he's a multi-millionaire, self-made, 6'4", 4-time kickboxing world champion, chess genius. I don't like the way he's living his life because he's kicking too much ass. You need to cry more. He's trying to drag me down to his level.
Who's saying for you to cry more? I think we're all just saying it's okay to cry, dude. If you feel like crying, go ahead and cry it out. I don't care. No one cares. That's it.
So I can be a little crybaby like him. And he wants everyone else who reads his tweets to be a crybaby too, because the more little weaklings he can create, the less bad he'll feel about himself.
No, I don't feel any bad about myself if I don't tell people it's okay to cry. I don't know how to word it. I don't feel any less if I can't have people cry in front of me. You know what I mean? Like I don't care if you cry in front of me or not. I'm just saying, hey, it's okay too. That's it. You don't have to. You don't. I don't care. You know, just do you.
No man wants to be a little crybaby if they're honest with themselves, and
no man wants to be a crybaby. No, obviously, who wants to fucking cry all the time, boy? Who wants to cry all the time? No one. Babies do.
No woman certainly wants to fuck a little crybaby. So,
well, I mean, I don't know. Are you a woman? Do you know what the woman wants? No, you don't, because you're not a woman. How do you know some women don't have a crybaby kink? Point 1, Papa Tab.
So don't listen to the advice of people who are living lives you wouldn't want to live.
Don't take advice from people whose lives you don't want to live. Spit on my fucking keyboard. I don't want to live being investigated by the police for sex trafficking. Now, I know it was just a story, a fallacy, but I don't want to be anywhere part of that life. I don't care about how much self-deprecation, self-hatred I have for myself. I don't want to take Andrew Tate's advice. His advice right now is don't take advice from those who you don't want to live like. And I hope that's something that you all can take away from this video. Don't take advice from people whose lives you don't want to live. So if you don't want to live the gangbanging life, the gangster life, the drug dealing life, don't fucking take advice from them. I mean, you can take it, but I don't know. I'm someone that believes in being a student to everything in the fucking world, so I will take something from here, from here, from here. I'll take some little bits of nuggets of knowledge from everywhere I can.
What's actually interesting is, I always use this analogy. If you could build yourself from the ground up, if you could literally just, like from a video game, just tick characteristic boxes and build yourself, nobody would choose to be a liberal soy boy.
No one would choose to be a liberal soy boy? I don't know about that. Is that a fucking characteristic? I would say most people are probably gonna look the same. Who's gonna want to be fat? Everyone's gonna want to be tall. Everyone's gonna want to be ripped. That's it. Everyone's gonna look alike.
Nobody would choose to be a small, weak guy who has to cry when he gets upset.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Everyone, when they get that application form from God saying build yourself for your next life, would tick tall, strong, smart, mentally tough, doesn't cry, gets pussy, rich.
I know this is from 4 years ago. Why is that a characteristic trait? Gets pussy. Is rich. Rich, it's not a characteristic of you. It's not a characteristic of you. That's something that you could do. That's not an attribute that you got from birth. You know what I mean? So the fact that you're 6'4", that's an attribute you can't control. The fact that you are, I don't fucking know, you have this amount of testosterone, that you can't control. depending on like what you eat, I think, some bullshit like that. But you can't change your eye color. You can't change your hair color naturally. You know what I mean? Forever. You can't change it forever. So you can't get money at birth unless you're born rich, but you know what I mean.
They take all the things they tell me I'm bad, all the assets I have, everything that I am, they tell me is bad.
Who's telling you you're bad? Who's telling you?
But if they had the choice to have these things instantly, they would sign up. And the reason they don't have these things is because all of these things come with hard work.
Oh, your height comes with hard work? Ah, yes, I remember. I was working hard when I got to 6'2".
To be physically strong, you have to work out. That's difficult. To be financially independent, you have to be smart. That's difficult. So they don't have these things because they're hard for them to acquire, but they're very easy for them to acquire. They'd have them all. Nobody wants to be a crybaby. The mark of being a real man is not being...
There's nothing wrong with being a crybaby. It's not even being a crybaby. It's just being a fucking human with normal emotions. We got off topic here. We were talking about crying, and then we talked about some other bullshit. And now we're talking about crying again.
A crybaby. The mark of a real man is walking down the street, 5 guys with knives coming up to try and rape your girlfriend, and you...
Okay, we went from 0 to 700 real quick.
Crybaby. The mark of being a real man
being
is
a real
not
man.
being a crybaby.
Okay.
The mark of a real man is walking down the street.
Okay, so remember, if you are a man, you have had to have gone through this experience, okay? Let's go. And if you haven't, you're not a real man.
And is not being a crybaby.
Remember that.
The mark of a real man is walking down the street, 5 guys with knives coming up to try and rape your girlfriend, and you look at them in the face and saying, fuck you. It's not crumbling into a ball, crying your eyes out and say, I have emotions too. That just makes you a bitch.
Okay. So, being a man is walking down the street, having 5 guys with knives. He's saying knives and not guns because he probably lives in fucking London at this time, and they don't have guns there. So, he's saying that walking down the street with your girlfriend, 5 guys with knives come and try to rape your girlfriend. And the mark of a man is you saying, fuck you. Instead of crying like a little soy boy on the floor. Well, it depends on how armed you are, dude. It depends. If you have no chance, you're probably fucked. I mean, I'll give a good fight, but you're probably fucked. So, I don't know if that's necessarily the mark of a man, but it is what it is. Alright, I know this one was kind of long. I know the video's only 4 minutes, but I had some talking points, and I'm sorry I keep running these fucking long. I just have a lot to talk about, and I'm just trying to dissect everything and just argue it. Okay. But yeah. Anyways, if you guys liked the video, go ahead and drop a like, comment whatever you guys want to comment, subscribe if you want to subscribe if you don't want to subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit, I got no